said, coming in to play for JJ alongside the rest of the guys and as you pursue a prime season for yourself?
Just continue to do what I've been doing. Obviously the main focus is staying healthy and staying on the floor. The rest, as far as individual accolades and things like that, I just let it take care of itself. I don't stress too much over that. It's not like I'm in consideration for things anyway. I don't know how, but I don't let that bother me. I just go out there and play basketball and focus on our team wins. And if we're able to, get enough of those and play very well at a high level as a unit, I'm pretty sure that stuff will happen. But that's not my focus.
AD, I've got a quick one for you and a bigger picture one. How are you feeling after your summer? A little bit of a different thing with the Olympics. And then secondly, this roster. It's basically the same as last year. What needs to change for the result to be different with this group?
I feel good. Felt great all summer, obviously in the Olympics. But as far as the roster question, just health, to be honest. I mean, Gabe missed a big part of last season. Vando missed a huge part of last season. So I think health is just, Christie Wood, missed last season, most of last season with his injury. So I think just health. I think, we did a good job, obviously. Even in the playoffs, we just weren't able to finish games. But, having some of our key players that we needed down the stretch, not being available just kind of hurt us. So I think, health would be the biggest thing for us to really get a great feel of what we can do with this team and see what we can be.
Hey, D. JJ's talked about using you more as like a playmaking hub around the elbows and top of the arc. What have those conversations been like with his vision for your offensive role, and how comfortable are you stepping up and just having the ball more at the top of the key?
Yeah, I've always been comfortable in that role. Every team that I've played on, or going back to New Orleans, have always caught the ball in the middle of the floor, just kind of directing the offense and things like that. So that would be nothing new. But as far as conversations, we had a couple. Obviously, busy summer and things like that. But I'm pretty sure our conversation would be a little bit more, in depth as the season has now started. We can able to get on the floor, kind of go over things, talking, communicating about how we want things to work, what I like, what I don't like, what he likes, what he envisions, and kind of build around that, especially with the roster that we have. So, but I'm very comfortable with having the ball and playmaking from anywhere on the floor.
AD, Rob mentioned a couple of months ago that you chose to be heavily involved in the coaching search, which led to JJ being hired. What stuck out to you about JJ? What did you know about him as a competitor? What have you learned about him in the past couple of months in the player-coach relationship now?
JJ played the game. He was able to I didn't have many conversations with JJ actually. It was more just so with Rob, but Rob was telling me all these things about JJ, and obviously it was I was giving my input on how I felt. Obviously it's different by him being a first-time coach and head coach, so that's a little different. But the principles that he was and the schemes that he wanted to bring into my organization just kind of stood out to me, and I kind of just relate that to Rob and let Rob kind of do his job from there.
Yeah, Jim Hill, Kick Hill Night. Good to see you again. How important is patience? Because you have a lot of variables this year. So how important is patience in getting everything the way that you want?
Patience is key. We're not going to rush anything. The good thing is we do have a lot of the same players back from last year, that continuity, so we're able to kind of speed roll some things. But then we also have a new coaching staff, which takes time, to get adjusted to that, the coaches to get adjusted to us. But we're focused on the details coming in and getting better each and every day, each practice, each shoot around, each preseason game right now, and, you know, let the rest kind of take care of itself. But, you know, we're not trying to skip any steps.
AD, you guys were a play-in team the last couple of years, and the West is crowded, and in many ways some would say it got even better in the offseason. How do you kind of view your place in things, and how do you kind of focus on the necessary steps you mentioned, attention to detail, without, you know, kind of getting lost in the big picture?
Yeah, the West is tough. The West has always been tough, you know, 1 through 15. So for us, we can't, you know, like I said, get too excited for a win, too low for a loss. You know, we have to come in and, you know, stay even keel. Like I said, that continuity helps, you know, building off last year with the team that we had. But I think if we're healthy and we're able to stay healthy throughout the entire season, we could be a top team in the West. You know, the stuff that we're able to do on both ends of the floor, and then you add in Gabe and Vando and Seawood, you know, I think that helps. But, you know, if we get hit by the injury bug again, then it's going to be tough.
Hey, D, in what ways did the Olympic experience deepen your relationship with Bron, both on and off the court, just going through that together?
I mean, it was fun. It was good. Me and Bron already have a close relationship, so it's probably the first summer since I've been here that we've been together all summer. You know, obviously he's always doing his thing, I do mine. You know, we got families in our own lives, and, you know, being around each other 6-7 months out of a year already, you know, you kind of need your breaks, you know, for sure. But it was fun to play basketball again. You know, with the season that we had, obviously it was tough just because, you know, we felt like we should have won the first series. But to be able to get back on the floor, play with Bron and all the other guys that, you know, I was able to play with and win a gold medal, made it a fun summer.
AD, you know, you just touched on it. You know LeBron as well as anybody in this building. What's it been like seeing him and Bronny here today as they kind of start this historic journey together?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's historic. It's powerful. I mean, Bronny's locker is across from mine, so every time I walk in, I see it. It's just still surreal to me that he, you know, is on the same team as his dad, and I get to be a part of it and witness, you know, each and every practice, each game, each moment that they have for at least this first year. So I can't wait till they step on the floor together, you know, and officially make history. But it's been super dope to watch so far.
Hey, D, good to see you. As accomplished as you've been as a player defensively, what parts of that game do you think you don't get enough appreciation for?
All of it. Every part.
AD, did the Olympic experience give you something new in terms of your perspective and relationship with the game of basketball?
I've always never taken a game of basketball for granted, but being in a situation like that, obviously you never want to take that for granted. I think there's only 12 guys that get selected to play, you know, for USA basketball in the Olympics, and that's every 4 years. So the fact that I was able to do it twice on the Olympic stage, you know, I never take that for granted. Being, you know, given the chance to play with, you know, Bron, KD, Steph. Obviously, they're the older guys, and they're all on their way. I don't want to say on their way out, but heading that way. Who knows if they play in 28? You know, who knows if they retire before? Like, you just don't know. So, I think the appreciation of just playing, you know, with the greatness of those guys, you know, and that was, you know, the rest of the guys on the team as well. Just got to appreciate that, you know, each and every day.
AD, the load that you carry defensively is as big as anybody in the NBA. You're also expected to do a lot on offense. Where can you use the most help for the team this year, defensively, inside, outside? Where are the places that you're looking to from a defensive standpoint?
From defense?
Yeah. Well, it could be anything because it's both ends, but.
And I just try to do what I can to help the team win. If that's being all over the floor defensively, guarding 1 through 5, I'll do that. if JJ wants me to play 1 through 5 on offense, I'll do that. You know, I don't try to, like, especially defensively, I don't try to rely on other guys, especially when it's a one-on-one matchup, if I'm guarding the ball. Just because I take so much pride in defense that I don't think anyone should be getting around me, So, but also just knowing that I have guys behind me to help me in the event that does happen. But defensively, I take too much pride in myself on the defensive end to be like, hey, guys, I need y'all help. I try to, guard that, whoever the matchup is, one-on-one. And if they do get by me or, something happens, then obviously the help is there. But, I just want us to be a top 5 team defense this year, and I'll be happy with that.
Awesome. All right. Hey, AD. This is Timothy Foster with News Channel 3 out in the Coachella Valley. We know that your first 2 games are going to be at Acrisure Arena out in the Coachella Valley. What does it mean to you and to the Lakers organization to start your preseason over there, especially that there's a lot of diehard Laker fans that, it might be a little too hard to make it all the way out to LA to watch you guys play. What would you kind of say to that, to those diehard fans and to playing out there? Yeah,
I mean, it's fun. Anytime we get a chance to go, play in another city, another arena that's not in your typical NBA city, it's Laker fans everywhere. So I remember my first year we went to go play in China, and fans everywhere. So that's when I really got the experience of Laker Nation, and to be able to play in Palm Springs where there's a lot of diehard Laker fans, like you said, they might not have opportunity to drive down to LA to watch. It's always fun to go out there and put on a show for them so they can enjoy our season as well.
AD, curious. This stage of your career, you've been through training camps X amount of times, one of the elite players in the league. What are areas still in your game that you're hoping to improve on at this stage of your career? Are there specific things you're looking forward to for this upcoming year for that?
I mean, just everything. Obviously, we have one of the best shooters to ever play in our head coach, JJ. So he's been on me all summer about shooting threes. Even in the Olympics, when I make a three, he'd text me, that's what I want to see, and things like that. So, for him, it's definitely going to be just shooting more threes. But for me, I just try to work on everything. I mean, it's nothing, in my game that I can't polish or touch up. So, when I'm working out, I just try to hit every facet of my game. Yep.
Hey, LeBron, at this point, just nobody in NBA history that knows how to prepare for a season. Vince Carter, literally the only one, right, that had year 22, and he was playing in a bit more of a limited role. How do you approach it? Is it the same way that you always do because it has worked like this, or has that changed a little bit, especially in an Olympic year, when you're able to accomplish that as well?
Well, I'm a little bit more advanced, in the Olympic year. So, like in 04 when I went into my second year, 08, 12, and now 24. Just because I've been playing all summer pretty much. So a little bit more advanced in everything. So excited about that. Excited about getting to work tomorrow, and should be fun. Should be fun. Really fun.
Yeah, LeBron, good to see you again. Good luck this year. What's your level of excitement and anticipation of playing with your son?
It's a lot of excitement. Just pure joy, to be honest, to be able to come to work every day, put in the work, hard work with your son, every day, and be able to see him continue to grow. We push each other. He pushed me, I push him. We push our teammates and vice versa. So just a very joyous, moment for not only for myself but for our family. And starting here today with Media Day, we've been in a couple photo booths, did an interview over there with Spectrum. That was pretty cool. So it's pretty awesome. Gives you a lot of life. It gives you a lot of life, especially when you're around young guys. I had a lot of fun, this summer with Ant-Man and Tyrese Halliburton and some of the young guys on the team. And they give you a lot of energy, a lot of life. So to be able to be alongside him, he's 19 years old, be 20 soon in October. It just gives you some more life and the rest of the young guys on the team. So it's awesome.
Hey, LeBron. When we did this last year, it was coming off an off season where after you guys had been swept by Denver, you hinted at retirement. You were beat up pretty badly physically. How different is your energy level at this stage? And kind of what's also your big picture view for yourself? Is a part of you think maybe this could be the last season? Or have you started to think about that legacy type stuff?
Well, I'm definitely not as beat up as I was last time. I feel damn good. I had a great summer. Body, was responded very well overseas along with Team USA. So took care of that, and I kept that going. After even when we stopped playing, I kept it going. So I feel really good physically. Mentally, I feel really good, really sharp, very fresh. Looking forward to getting to work tomorrow. Have not thought about what the future holds. Kind of just living in the moment, especially with Bronny being here too. I don't want to take this moment for granted. I've always kind of never gave myself an opportunity to kind of just like, take in the moments. But this is a moment that I may, enjoy a little bit more than just like my actual self. But I do feel good going into the season. Going into training camp tomorrow, I feel good. I feel, more advanced, like I said, with an Olympic year.
Speaking of the Olympics, LeBron, one of the moments that you guys were able to accomplish over there in Paris, it seems like you've allowed yourself a bit this offseason to revel in it. The tattoo, the change in your avatar, reflecting on it. You've shared some photos from your guys' accomplishments over there. What did it mean for you, and did it add any fuel in the tank? Not that I'm suggesting it was waning, but it was like I got to feel that championship feeling, that gold medal feeling, and did it have any kind of impact on how much longer you could play in the NBA?
Well, I definitely got an opportunity to just like enjoy the moment, enjoy what we were able to do, what we were able to accomplish. When you're along 11 other unbelievable, great talents, some of the best talent we've ever seen, it gives you like a lot of joy to be able to play the game, play it at a high level, come to work every day, push each other, and for myself individually to go out there at my age, the miles that I have, and to be able to play at the level I played at. It gave me like, okay, even more like a sense of, okay, I do have a lot in the tank, a lot. And I can help a big part of a team win the ultimate and whatever, if it's gold or if it's a Larry O'Brien trophy or whatever the case may be, I could still get it done. So that was pretty cool just from an individual standpoint to know that you could be out there with the best players in the world and still be able to have a big part of it, not only on the floor but off the floor too. So that was dope.
LeBron, you're coming off a career year from your three-point percentage. JJ's talked about you taking more threes, playing off the ball a little bit more, stuff you've done in the past. But what have those conversations been like between you two in terms of like your role and maybe it shifting a little bit this season, if at all?
My role is whatever it takes for our team to win. I mean, listen, I can do whatever. I can literally do whatever on a basketball floor, so it's not hard to plug me into whatever that game, whatever, that moment needs to entail, or, so if it's me playing off the ball and JJ want me to shoot more threes, or if it's me playing on the ball and getting guys involved, I can literally do everything out on the basketball floor. So, I think it worked well for our team.
LeBron, your relationship with JJ has evolved from competitor to podcast partner, now player coach. What have you learned in those evolutions, in those steps? And I guess specifically what have you learned, I know it's early stages, but just these past few months in that player coach relationship about JJ specifically?
Well, we haven't got the work yet. We've had like our individual workouts and things of that nature, but we haven't actually had practice. But I know from being alongside of him and, having our pods and being a competitor, I know that he's detailed, super detailed when it comes to that. And I know our coaching staff is detailed from, going against them in the past and things of that nature. So that's what it's all about. I think, putting the work in and being detailed and us knowing exactly what we need to do when we go out on the floor, not only in a game situation, but practice, shoot-arounds, film sessions, everything. That's something I know just because of my relationship previously before he became the head coach of the Lakers.
Hey, LeBron. I think when people talk about your length of career, they think about all the physical endurance you've had, but what's underrated is the mental hurdles of getting through the monotony of doing the same thing year after year after year. You mentioned Bronny giving you some additional life. What are some of the ways that you think playing with him and just sort of having that new idea and that new challenge and that new relationship on the team are going to help you deal with all of that stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's the first time, so I don't know. But I think just in the sense of just seeing, him continue to grow as a basketball player, no matter if it's here up, with us or if it's, down with the G League team, and him continue to get better and better and better. I don't know what that even looks like, His job is to, put the work in, get better and better, just like the rest of us. And we want to hold him accountable. He's going to hold us accountable. And everybody, if we all do that, we'll all get better, because we're all one team, We're a reflection of the South Bay. South Bay is a reflection of us, So if we're all getting better and we're all preaching the same things, then it all works in everybody's favor. So, there's no substitution for hard work and continue to grow and stacking days. And I know he's going to do that because that's just what he's about.
Hey, Bron, good to see you. Ahead of this historic moment, you mentioned that you and Bronny discussed certain things such as, he's not allowed to call you dad on the court. What other things have you guys discussed behind the scenes to make this milestone work? And in addition to that, we all know when you expressed that this dream started for you, but personally, when did you decide it was your dream to play with your son?
Well, I mean, we don't, to be honest, if you have kids, I mean, at my age and his age, there's not really much interaction going on a day-to-day basis. I mean, he comes down, he eats, he goes to his room, plays a video game. I'm down there with my wife, we watching a movie, I stop in. So it's not much like, hey, meet me at the table at 5 o'clock, we need to discuss work tomorrow. No, that doesn't happen. But I mean, he's been in this rim of the game of basketball since he was born, obviously. I've played in the NBA longer than he's been alive. So, he understands the nuances of it as far as just being around the game, but now he's a man and it's time for him to learn and get better with that. So I guess I don't know if he's even coming up here, you can ask him the questions of how he feels about it. I know I'm super happy for him. Our family's super proud of him. And, that's pretty much it. I mean, if we get a couple opportunities out on the floor throughout the course of the season, obviously that's going to be amazing. It'd be awesome, we wait for that moment when it happens and then go from there.
You mentioned the joy, being in the moment. Was there something this offseason with the game of basketball that you were reintroduced to that you might have lost touch with?
that I lost touch with? No, I don't ever lose touch with with the game of basketball. But it felt damn good to play. It felt great to play meaningful basketball, like literally play for the highest level. We had like 2 Game 7s back to back, one versus Serbia and then that last one versus France, where it was like oh shit, this is why those text messages went out. This is why those calls happened. That fire and desire was brought back to me. That I was like, okay, this is what it was all about. This is why we all came together and called ourselves the Avengers. To have that feeling again, where you're playing like meaningful, real, every possession means something. If you make a mistake, it burns you. Things like that. That was good to relive that moment. Going against those 2 great teams.
Hey, LeBron, to flip it a little bit, actually quite a bit. I'm sure you saw the news about Dikembe Mutombo today, a player you competed against. Just any memories you have about interacting with him on the floor, and just kind of your reaction.
Yeah,
to the
first of
sadness.
all, my condolences goes to him, to his family. And obviously, anytime a loved one is, gone, then it's a lot on the family. So, my condolences and well wishes goes to his family. Also goes to the NBA community as well. He's such a as a big part of the NBA. When you're growing up and you think about like iconic moments in playoff history, you think about when they played the Supersonics and it was the 8th seed, and you just remember him getting that last rebound, those last blocks, and just holding that basketball on his back and in amazement. So. My fondest memory of Dikembe Mutombo, he fractured my face on my birthday in Cleveland with an elbow. I never even got an opportunity to tell him about that. But yeah, I don't remember how old I was in Cleveland my first stint, and I think I was turning 22 maybe. He was in Houston. You guys can do the research. Yep, he was in Houston, and I went to the hole and caught one of those Dikembe elbows. And if anybody know about the Dikembe elbows, they do not feel good. He fractured my face, and I went to the hospital that night, and I wore a mask for a little bit. Yeah, so that is my memory of Dikembe. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, Rui. JJ mentioned going into the season, right? The starting lineup is established. Obviously, you're in that. Just wondered what you've thought of the conversations you've had with him as you enter the season, how comfortable you are with that, and just kind of knowing what this season's going to bring for yourself in that context.
Yeah, it's really right after, I think, that was for him. It was the first day for him, but I was just here walking out, and I saw him the first time, and we really talked for 30 minutes, how we can kind of establish, the whole thing, as a team. We building almost, this is our almost third year for us, everybody together, the same core group. So, and then he talked about he want me to shoot more threes, he thinks that I'm a great shooter, and I believe that, and he believes it. So I think that's going to be the really key for us. And yeah, more involved in offensively, defensively. I have to involve more, and yeah, I think it's going to be a great year for me.
Rui, good to see you. How are you physically after what happened in the Olympics? And then I guess, furthermore, were there things that you saw late in the season when it came to rebounding and aggression from you that you feel like maybe unlock something in kind of the way you need to perform here moving forward in this role with this team?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel great. My body's fine. Everything's good. I'm ready to go. But yeah, I think just you say I feel like my body's more stronger, and I can be more physical. Especially like you said, on the glass. Being when offense rebound and stuff. So yeah, I think that's the another thing that I talked with the coach, and he wanted me to do more. Especially last year, I wasn't really doing that. So I think this year I can more mix it up with that, and yeah, just more physical, being aggressive and find a mismatch, and especially me, Bron, AD on the court, always gonna be somebody gonna be mismatched, you know. And I think they don't want those two guys to be a mismatch. So I think they're gonna put somebody, the smaller guy on me or taller guy, bigger guys on me. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good.
Hey, Rui, you guys are bringing back largely the same roster from last season, and you mentioned part of this group has been together now for parts of 3 seasons. What can that continuity kind of do to help jumpstart that from the beginning of the season versus getting out to maybe some slower starts like the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think you know, even this meeting today we talk about. I think we really believe in this group. You know, I think that this is a team that we can, you know, win the whole thing, and we've been building it. As we can see, like we have a lot of talented guys, you know, on the team. Everybody's talented. You know, we added a lot of new guys, you know, younger guys. But I think we can, you know, still keep building the same chemistry that we had, you know, since last year and all that. And yeah, we just believe in each other. And I think this gonna be the year that we have to really prove, you know, we have to for sure go back to the Western Conference final that we did in the first year that we start building. And yeah, I think we have a lot of chance this year. So we really looking forward. But that we have to stay healthy. You know, I think that'll be the key. So yeah.
Rui, JJ has mentioned corner crashing the offensive glass as something that will be key for you this season. Have there been players that he's mentioned to you that do it at a high level that he wants you to replicate, or are there players you've studied to really, you know, I guess, understand that role and understand how to do it best?
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, where I think with this lineup in the group, you know, I'm going to be in the corner a lot. So I think that's the corner would be like, you know, that's a good way to, it's the best way to kind of approach in the offense rebound. So I have to be more aggressive on that. You know, I think I have a size and a speed to do that. So that's why I think they're asking for. So, but I think I'm agree with that, and I think that's going to be really big for us. You know, so yeah, I'll keep watching the film, and yeah, just going to keep. I think that's going to be a really key for us. Yeah.
Rui, for your skill set, offensively, defensively, is there an area of your game coming into this season you want to focus a little bit more attention on, or is it primarily just as best as you can be as a two-way player?
Yeah, defensively, I think it's more so the team chemistry. You know, I think our team defense, I have to understand the new concept of the defense too. You know, and just those individual one-on-one. You know, of course that, but also that it's almost so like it's a team defense. You know, we have to communicate better. You know, I gotta be the better communicator. You know, and offensively, I just have to be more aggressive, and they want me to find that mismatch. So whoever, maybe if I had a smaller guy, you know, put on the rim. If I had a bigger guys, I can use my speed to drive. You know, I can shoot threes. So yeah, just like those are the things that you guys seen already. You know, but I think on another level. Yeah.
Rui, you mentioned you've played with this group for a while now. Defensively, where do you see the best matchups sometimes for you? You know, if you're in that front court with LeBron and you've got D'Lo and Austin.
What do you mean by that? The best matchup?
Is it like sometimes it's a power forward, sometimes it's a small forward? Like how does that function best defensively, and where do you think is the opportune way for you to play that?
I mean, for me, it's just you know, I believe that I can guard 1-5. You know, whatever they ask for. It depends on the matchup that we have, the lineup we have every game. Whatever they say, you know, I think for me it's not going to be a problem. But I think like I've been saying, I think as a team, you know, I think we have to kind of focus on our team defense, like our concept of defense, and just man up and guard your guy. You know, of course I can guard the power forward guy. You know, I can be physical. I can guard those smaller guys using my size. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a very interesting. You know, Bron can guard 1-5, AD can guard 1-5. So yeah, it's gonna be really good for us. Japanese, okay.
八村選手お疲れ様です。どうもありがとうございます。今回はいパリ五輪 ちょっと故障で悔しい、ちょっと早めにちょっとチームを出なきゃいけないことになりましたけれども、パリ五輪日本代表として、出場していかがでしたか？
そうですね。そうですね。自分としてもあまり結果もそうですし、個人としてもあまりいい結果で終われなかったんですけど、オリンピックは。その中でもチームとして、何か得たものがあったんじゃないかなと思うので、次のオリンピックもそうですし、次のワールドカップに向けても、チームとしてもすごい自信が上がったんじゃないかなと思うので、そこは続けていきたいなと思います。
八村選手、今シーズンもよろしくお願いします。
はい、お願いします。
今シーズンで6シーズン目になるんですけれども、もう結構 NBA の中でもベテランの域に入ってきて、今シーズンにかける思い、勝負の年と思っているのか、なんかそのあたりの思いを聞かせてください。
そうですね。やっぱりそろそろやっぱりNBA のやっぱり一番上のチャンピオンシップっていうところが見たいなと思うので、そこ2年前は惜しくもそこ近くまで行ったんですけど、去年はあまりいい結果、自分たちのチームとしてはあまりいい結果でできなかったので、今年こそはやっぱり自分たちでもやっぱり、そこを目指してやってるので、僕がずっと夢に見てた、6シーズン目ってこともあるので、そこをしっかりと目標に向けてやっていきたいなと思いますね。
すみません、再び日本語で失礼します。今シーズンから渡邊雄太選手は日本にまた戻られましたけれども、河村選手だったり富永選手だったり若い選手もまた NBA に、挑戦していて、そういった若い選手たちがまたこうやって世界に出てくるなんかそういう状況を今どのように感じていらっしゃいますか？
そうですね、僕としても嬉しいですし、やっぱり雄太さんも言ってた通り、やっぱりそう NBA っていうの舞台はそんな簡単なものじゃないので。そういう中でどれだけ、中に入って NBA に入ってそこからずっとどれだけ続けていけるかっていうのがすごい大変かっていうのも分かってると思うんですけど、そういう中でやっぱ彼らにはもっと自分のアピールをしてアグレッシブに負けないでやっていくってことが大事じゃないかなと思うので、オリンピックの時も少し話したんですけど、河村君とかともやっぱりそういう自分を出すっていうのがしっかり大事じゃないかなと思いますね。
That's great.
Mikey, what up, baby?
Yo. All right, D'Angelo, JJ had mentioned that he probably spoke to you the most of the returning players over the offseason, and just wondered what stood out the most to you in those conversations as you think about heading into this year for the Lakers.
I mean, we had a great conversation leading up through the free agency. Just tried to get his information, reach out to him, and create some type of rapport and communication, especially if I was returning back. And we just kind of hit it off. I've never really connected with him like that. Very high IQ guy, basketball wise, and just personally. I think I gravitated towards that right away.
D'Lo, you mentioned it, the if I would be back. You've dealt with that basically since you got here.
Yeah.
How comfortable with it are you? Does it change anything about the way you approach this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely just kind of got used to it. Hopefully y'all kind of know what y'all going to get from me. This is definitely a new feel, new everything going on with, the structure and with JJ kind of coming around and implementing what he's trying to do to kind of change, the rim of things around here. So my approach is just stay steady, I guess.
This roster is virtually identical to the one it was last year. Does that help you know the ways that you guys need to be different for the end result to be different? And
Sure.
I guess what ways do you think that is? Or what are the things that you think need to change?
I definitely think, since I've been back, we've done an unbelievable job, just kind of putting things together and just kind of winging it a little bit. I think throughout that winging it, we kind of knew where our flaws were. Obviously, rebounding there and things like that can lose games, but I think it starts now in the summer with the structure that you try to implement. I think, figuring out our last 2 minutes of the game, how we're going to finish games, the sooner we can figure that out throughout the season, I think the better. And that comes with, experience. So I'm looking forward to just having this experience going into the season with some of these familiar faces. Some of our guys weren't healthy last year, are healthy. So I like our group.
D'Lo, in talking with JJ, he's mentioned various things in terms of roles for players this season. But AD, he mentioned being more of a hub. LeBron maybe playing more off ball. In your conversations with him, what's been brought up as an emphasis for how your role will look, maybe compared to last season or last couple of seasons?
I feel like he's probably kind of harped on, I would say my energy is kind of contagious. So just being a positive guy, high confident guy, IQ guy, I think, I'm vocal. So being vocal in the short time that I've been here this summer, I think he kind of recognized it, and he's harped on it a little more than normal. Just keep that going, continue that. We love to see that. We notice it. So, like I said, his kind words mean a lot to me because I'm not used to hearing those. So it's good.
Just got it. Before I ask my other question, I had to follow up on that. Kind words, you're not used to hearing them. Can you elaborate a little more?
I mean, I think you can.
I know I can, but I'd like you to.
I mean, I just obviously Laker Nation loves me, so they talk good about me when they can.
Yeah, I can leave it there. You mentioned that in a world where increasingly, frankly, players are almost talked about only as contracts, like he's a movable piece, like that kind of thing. It's easy to say, I just got to stay steady. You've actually managed to do it in the face of a lot of that talk over the years. I think there's a lot of guys around the league in your position. How do you actually do it? What advice could you give to guys who are in that position? Because stay steady it's something to say, but to pull it off is a whole other thing.
I mean, that's a good question. I think just kind of trusting my craft, knowing that I'm a problem for the opposing team. If we're winning or if we're losing, teams know what I'm capable of. So I just keep that in the back of my mind, knowing that I'm dangerous, and keeping my confidence high throughout the ups and downs of the season. So, and then throughout adversity, you get to really see the character of people. And I always try to hold my head high through adversity, and always come out with confidence. I'm not going to lose that. So I think that's a way to kind of get through your adversity, just always having that confidence. And the people around me, I think my people around me are brutally honest. So before I leave the house, I hear what's trending about me. So my folks will say it before it's kind of trending. So I think it's a positive for me.
Hey, D'Angelo. JJ mentioned the other day that he wants to see you have a career year. You're obviously coming off a really good year. So what does that look like, having a career year? Is it more the same, or is there other parts of your game that you want to kind of showcase?
I think for me, honestly, I think I really wanted to apologize in a sense of showing the lack of professionalism at times, showing the lack of team first, perception at times. So for me, I think just kind of keeping that maturity and that professionalism throughout the year, no matter the ups and the downs. Hold myself more accountable on the defensive end. Obviously, I know I'm capable, but when you get subbed out of a game for offensive, defensive possession, obviously that shows where your trust is in your coach and your ability. So for me, just trying to gain that trust for coach defensively, and consistently, I'm gonna show up every day. Practice, game, preseason, whatever, knowing that coach has that trust in me as well. And I think it'll just continue to a successful season.
D'Angelo, you mentioned talking to JJ, the IQ and the ways that you guys are able to talk about basketball. There a point in the last 2 seasons where LeBron and Austin and AD and Rui, that you kind of figured out where guys should be offensively. How do you think JJ can kind of supplement that, and what do you think you guys can keep bringing out of that part of your basketball?
I think as the head coach, you have your own way of doing things. You have your own voice. You have your own vision of the way you see things, and obviously as players you have it too. So as a head coach, finding that balance with the players, I think, is key. And then when one of your players is one of the greatest of all times, you really got to take that in consideration on what you do and your preparation. And I think JJ is the perfect guy for that because of, like I said, his IQ and his abilities too.
D'Lo, you were all over the place this summer, played a lot of golf. I saw, did a lot of stuff back home in your community, traveled overseas. But I'm curious, what was it like watching LeBron and AD with Team USA, and did the way they impacted that team's ability to win a championship, did that change at all your thoughts about this team's ceiling and what a team can do with those 2 players on it?
I saw a few things. I thought it was really cool to watch them play at that level. The camaraderie that they had was a beautiful thing to see as well. And you get to see like what style of play complements those guys too. And me, I kind of had an idea. Throughout the time I've been here, I've learned how to play with those guys and around those guys and without those guys. So I think just seeing a lot of the stars in our league get around those guys and how they carry themselves on and off the floor, I just picked up a few things as well. So it was really cool to see them win as well.
D'Angelo, you've just now talked about holding yourself a little bit more accountable defensively. You've also been candid about how, compared to other players around the league, you have certain athletic or physical limitations that can get in the way with defense. Where specifically are the areas where you feel like I can do more, that the limitations don't matter?
Just focus. I mentioned being dangerous on the offensive end kind of carries over to the defensive end, and I may have a miss box out, miss backdoor opportunity, miss laps like that, which could cause a game. And when you watch film, you see me having those plays a little more than often. So trying to limit those plays for me. So like I said, I can earn that trust to stay on the floor at the end of the games. Cool. Yep.
Hey, Austin. You had the chance, you would think, this summer, to have a real offseason, to prep your body, your game after the last couple were so crazy as your kind of NBA career and Team USA evolved. How did you use it, and how does kind of Reddick and his staff coming in, how was that supplemented in some ways as you enter training camp here?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of this past year when we got beat by Denver, I took probably 3 or so weeks just to decompress and get off my feet. Go see my family, see my brother, which plays overseas, so I can only see him probably 2 months out of the year. So just got a lot of family time in. Obviously played some golf, and then got back to work. The main thing was getting stronger this summer, being in the weight room, and then getting back and getting familiar with the schemes and all the stuff that the new coaching staff is asking. And it's been a great summer. It's been a lot of fun being around those guys and learning. And having a good understanding of what's asked going into this year.
Austin, you saw basically this roster get to the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. You've seen this roster lose in the first round after 5 games. How well do you know this group's strengths and weaknesses, and is that going to help you guys as a unit kind of solve that and get to its ceiling?
Yeah, I think anytime you can, continue to grow as a unit, the more time you have together, the more you're going to learn and understand, playing with one another more. I think the camaraderie, just the non-spoken, feel of the game, kind of knowing where everybody's going to be, what people like, what people don't like, is very important. And, we're continuing to grow that. But having these past 2 years, to get familiar with one another, I feel like we can hit the ground running and, be a very good team from the start.
Austin, Rob and JJ have both talked about you having the ball more in your hands this upcoming season. What's your understanding of kind of the role shift for you of them trying to ramp up your usage?
Yeah, I think it's, me just being me and having an opportunity to do that. But at the end of the day, winning is all that matters. So I feel like we have multiple guys that can win us games. So one night it might be me, one night it might be D'Lo. Obviously, Bron and AD are always going to be, who they are. But like I said, I feel like we have multiple guys that can win us basketball games. So, just being unselfish in all aspects to just win is what we all need to, come together as a unit. Regardless, like I said, of who it is that night, on every night, it's going to be somebody else. So I'm really just here to do what's, asked, and try to win games.
Austin, kind of on that note, toward the end of last season, you were responsible more defensively in terms of guarding the best guard for the opposing team. How did that help you, I guess, prepare for that? You may have to do that more this season. Just how did that help you in terms of what you'll have to be responsible for?
Yeah, I think, it was just a sample size of, the condition that I have to be in to play both ends of the court. But like you said, to guard everybody's best player and, be able to still be productive on the other end. I felt like in instances last year, towards the end of the year, I found myself not making shots. And, you got to figure out a way to, eliminate that, regardless of what you're trying to do on the other end. So just being in the best shape possible. I feel like I've done a really good job of that this summer, just putting in the time, like I said, in the weight room, but on the court, also running out on the soccer field, football field, to just, like I said, be in the best shape as possible.
Hey, Austin, Lauren Jones, Sporting Tribune. I wanted to ask about kind of what you were just talking about. There were periods in time where the team kind of went on this kind of roller coaster. There was ups and then there was some downs and low periods. What have you drawn upon that, and how do you plan to kind of take a step forward as Rob and JJ have, kind of challenged you this season personally and as a team?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have such a long season, so many games, you're more than likely going to have those ups and downs throughout a whole season. You just got to figure out the fastest way to get through those, down moments. You try to, ride the high moments as long as you can. And but, I mean, in all sports, slumps are a real thing. You go through it, and like I said, every sport you played, so you got to figure out different things throughout the aspects of the game to help your team be successful. That's the beautiful thing about basketball is even if you're not making shots in a moment, there's 10 to 15 other things that you can do to help your team win. So you can't really just hang your hat on making shots, missing shots, like I said, because there's so many things that you can do. And for myself, it's just, if it's me, just figuring out how to get out of those moments faster. If it's someone else, just trying to help them and step up and be a leader to, like I said, help them get out of those moments.
Awesome. Austin, right here. So you guys are playing your first 2 games out in the Coachella Valley at Acrisure Arena. What are you guys doing to kind of prepare for your first preseason game? What is kind of the mentality going into it? And then also, the Lakers back in the 1990s used to do training camps out in Palm Springs. What does it mean? Because there's a lot of diehard fans that are out in that area. What does it mean to you to play out there? And also, what is kind of the mentality for your first preseason game?
Yeah, I mean, the mentality every time you take a court, to play a game is to win. That's how we're going into all these games. You play to win, and regardless of who's playing, who's not playing, whoever's on the court, and really everybody within the organization is locked in on winning, and that's the main thing. And like you said, we played a preseason game out there last year. The fans were incredible. It was a really, really good atmosphere. We didn't really know I didn't really know what to expect going out there, but like I said, the fans were unreal. It got loud in the stadium, so it's just cool to go to different places and see all the love that we get. So yeah, we're super excited for that, and can't wait to play.
Austin right here. Just following your journey, it's been very unique. I talked to Phil Handy and Zach. They always talk about how hard you work, but in this new generation, you don't post anything. All I see probably more of golf videos than I see of you in the lab, but I know you're always in there. Speak to that in terms of you being very private with that and keeping that old tradition alive where you don't show your workouts or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like, and this is for me, like, why do I have to, prove to everybody that I'm working out? Like, I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm in the gym. I don't have to, post it on Instagram for however many people to see. I think that's kind of, just you're wanting to show off what you're doing. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing, because there's multiple things that I've seen online of people working out that you can take and use it as helpful stuff. It's just not for me. I don't post a lot anyway. Like you said, you probably see more golf on my page, but it's not really it's not a bad thing if you do it. It's just not what I do. I don't really like a lot of cameras anyway. I just would prefer to be to myself, even if it's with Phil or Zach or whoever it is working out. Just have a small group in there, get your work in, and get out. And like I said, I don't have to prove to anybody that I'm working out. At the end of the day, all that matters is the work that I'm putting in, and the people in this organization believing in me.
Austin, you mentioned the schemes and kind of the language, right, that JJ and the new staff is bringing in, and you haven't even played yet. So without getting too specific into it, what are some of those ideas that you when you sit down with him, you kind of, okay, yeah, that makes sense for my game. This is how it's going to look on the court. Where has that process been for you?
Yeah, I think it's not even really just for me. I just think the whole structure and foundation that these coaches have brought in for us, talking with everybody, is a great start, because I felt like a lot of times last year we won a lot of games off of talent. And when you have talent around structure, then you have opportunities to do something really special. So I don't think it's necessarily for me or not. I just think that everything that they've came in and talked about makes sense to me for our whole collective group.
Austin, whether it's Bronny being here or LeBron being able to win and kind of taste championships again this summer, have you noticed a change in his energy level in the gym? I know it's always pretty high, but there's maybe a little more youthfulness in him today than when we've seen him do this in the past.
I don't know, because it's like you said, his energy is always good. We've had multiple conversations about, I've asked him many a times, like, how do you never, there's moments where I just wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I feel like he never does. Like, I feel like every day he comes into the gym, he's always in a good mood. He's always here early. He's working on his body, obviously working on his game. But you would have to think that having your son along for the ride would make it a little more but I don't really know because, like I said, he's always in such a good mood that you can't really tell the difference. So it's not really noticeable, but I would think that, if I was him and I had an opportunity to play alongside my son, that it would give me a little bit more of, motivation to continue to play at the level that he's been playing at. Appreciate y'all.
How's everybody doing?
How you doing, Gabe?
Doing well,
Good,
thank
good,
you.
good. Gabe, I know you've spoken to this like on Spectrum a couple weeks ago, and the first thing is, hey, are you healthy? How you feeling? So it sounds like you're good to go in that context. What are you looking forward to getting back by just having the game rhythm return, where it just wasn't there last year, and you weren't really able to find, show the player that you are? How do you think that can come about, and how can that fit with the rest of the players?
Yeah, I mean, I think just playing in general helps that. I think I only played like 11 games or something like that last season. So being on the court is a huge factor in that. Being healthy is a huge factor in that, which I am. So I'm looking forward to this year. But I think what I bring is the same thing I brought last year this time we had this conversation. I think I can still defend. I think I can make an open shot. I can make for guys. So I'm curious to see the way things will play out, where they'll shake out in terms of role definition and so forth. But I'm looking forward to helping this team win basketball games.
Gabe, when we did this last year, this team had just come off a run to the Western Conference Finals. There was a lot of discussion about missing pieces and different things like that to get this team over the top. How different has the conversation been from what you've noticed about this team going into this season? It seems like it's been a little more quiet because there aren't any changes. And do you think that continuity, and, obviously some health, is this team maybe better than people realize in terms of what its ceiling is?
I mean, I haven't heard too much of the talk about this team in general in terms of what you guys have said in the media. Obviously not making a lot of big changes was the narrative that has come across my ears, but I think for the most part we've been pretty internal. Just been worrying about us, each person's been trying to better themselves coming into the year to make this team a little bit better. So I think the sky is still the limit, and I'm looking forward to this season.
Hey, Gabe, what's your initial impressions been of JJ and his vision for you guys on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think just getting to know him a little better, our conversations, you could just tell the kind of basketball mind he has early in that conversation. So seeing the way that he dissects the game and breaks it down, I'm sure we'll have some very creative ideas going into this year that will be very helpful.
Gabe, for you, I mean, we've spoken about this a little bit, but just how challenging was last season for you? I mean, coming off the finals appearance, then you signed here as a free agent, expectations, all that, and then obviously you show with the knee injury. Just how difficult was that just to stay focused, stay locked in, despite missing most of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think any competitor that doesn't have a chance to compete due to injuries or stuff out of their control, it's going to bother them, frustrate them, etc. So for me, it's last year was frustrating, but trying to find ways I could still be helpful to the guys on the court, off the court in different ways, and taking the offseason to better my health, to come out here to be able to compete. It's something I'm looking forward to, and taking on this next season ahead.
Hey, Gabe. Knowing you're an important defensive piece to this team, is there anything you do over the summer to kind of work on that and hone that, or is it more just about strengthening yourself and getting in good shape for the season?
I think strengthening and getting in shape is more of a standard. I think there's different things, whether it's film work or dissection of my own game or studying other guys' film, that help me on the defensive side. But yeah.
Gabe, yeah, you kind of mentioned it just a minute ago, but 2 seasons prior, you played 68 games in both of those seasons prior. So for your off season, do you change anything? Because you were healthy in those 2 years prior. Did you change anything, change your diet? What was the process in terms of you this summer?
Yeah, I mean, before this summer, it was pretty much like 4 or 5 years straight of basketball. When the year was done, playoffs were done, I was playing World Games and stuff with Nigeria. So it was a long stretch of basketball for me, and taking advantage of this unfortunate longer summer off has been huge for my body, huge for my game. So I've just been trying to take advantage of that. I'm looking forward to those changes, hopefully showing this season. We play a lot more than 11 games. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Mic check. Here we go. Hey, Jared. Rob Pelinka kind of took us through the offseason just in terms of your feet, and wondered how you're feeling, how it's progressed to this point, and just how that process went for you.
I feel great. I mean, the process has been going great. Everything's online and going on great pace and great scheduling, so everything feels good.
No, last year must have been tough for you, right when you come back and starting to play well again, you get injured. Mm-hmm. What did you notice from being there in person, from the film, the skill set that you have and how much they need it, the perimeter defense, the offensive rebounding, the various things that you do, and how excited are you about just getting back to that basketball?
I'm very excited about getting back, getting playing, and just being healthy. Obviously, being from the sideline, being able to watch what the team needed and also what I can bring to the table and bring to this team, so, yeah, I'm just excited to get back out there and get healthy and, get back to playing.
Jared, is opening night a realistic goal for you in terms of being healthy, or do you anticipate it maybe taking a little bit longer than that?
I'm not quite sure. Obviously, the team and the staff has put together a great plan for me. And like I said, we've been making good progress, and the plan has been going great. So just, sticking to the plan and trusting the plan and seeing where that takes me.
Has this time with injury rehab, and obviously that's probably been your primary focus, has that made it tougher on you to kind of work on the areas of your game that typically you would be putting time in during the summer, and how have you tried to manage that?
I mean, first and foremost, my main goal is, to be healthy, get healthy, and have a healthy season. So, like I said, health comes first, and then everything else will, play its course.
Jared, you guys are largely bringing back the same group from last season. What have you seen over the last year and a half with this group that you like, that gives you confidence in your guys' potential this upcoming year?
Can you say that first part again?
You guys are largely bringing back the same team as last season. So what have you seen over the last season, and even going back to some of you guys were obviously there after the deadline, that gives you confidence going into this season?
I mean, it's great to bring a group back, or the main guys, or the core back. It's kind of rare in this league to have, a couple years under your belt with the same guys. So, and I think that plays a huge part. And, being the competitive, being a championship type team, being able to build some camaraderie and build chemistry and being able to know each other's tendencies and stuff like that. So it's been great, being able to be around the same guys for the past couple of years, learning them on and off the court. It's been great.
Jared, I know you haven't been able to practice yet, but what's been the initial impressions of JJ and your conversations with him over the past couple of months?
It's been great. The communication's been great. The energy has been great just around the whole building. And, I think everybody's, put a plan together. It's been great structure. And, so far so good.
Jared over here. There's always a lot of focus on what you bring to the table defensively. Has JJ spoken with you at all about what he considers your role or the things that he wants from you offensively, where you fit in?
I mean, we spoke briefly, just in general about his vision for, me and the team and, style of play and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Hey, Jared, Michael Matthew here with the Sporting Tribune. Just, you're able to play with two of the greatest players that are kind of similar to your position with AD and LeBron. What are the biggest lessons that you've been able to learn from them about, keeping yourself healthy and trying to have some longevity in this game?
Just, their commitment to get up and, do the same thing and be great every day. Obviously take care of your body and, put the time in and invest, because that's really important, especially to play the amount of years that those guys have played. So that's the ultimate goal, to reach those type of years and longevity. And, just taking care of your body and staying healthy.
Yeah, Jared, Andy just alluded to this some, but right before you got hurt in that Boston game, I think you were in double figures, like 6 to 7 games, and it seemed like you would figure something out with dribble handoffs, cutting in. What was that, and do you feel like you can hit the ground running again with whatever you had kind of evolved in your role around LeBron, AD, and everybody?
That was just me taking advantage of, the opportunity that I had and, the cards that I were dealt. And Obviously, it's going to take some time to get back to that level of play. Granted, I haven't played in a while, but that's the goal. I think I was trending in the right direction before I went down, and I would like to, essentially get back to that and, progress and build from that point on. So, yeah, that's the goal. Yep.
How's it going, man?
Hey, Max.
How's it going? How's it going?
JJ and Rob, but especially JJ, spoke a lot about you in their presser last week and kind of the excitement of seeing you grow this offseason and understanding their scheme and plan.
Yep.
Can you speak to that from your perspective, and does that give you a certain level of almost different excitement heading into this season from previous?
Yeah, I mean, JJ has done a really good job, I think, to start. Definitely imposing himself as a coach. He's trying to do a really good job of making a good impression on us as players in our individual workouts and group workouts that we had. I think he's done a really good job kind of explaining what our offensive identity, defensive identity, and so on is going to be. So I'm super excited, for the new coaching staff this season, and they've done a really good job, and they seem, very excited, very energetic about the season. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Max, what are the biggest ways that you've used these last 2 years to get to this moment now where everybody has been very open about kind of their plans for you, and obviously they trusted you and rewarded you with a pretty nice contract this summer?
Yeah, I think the first 2 years for me, I've got a little bit of experience under my belt, but I think the biggest thing is I've been able to observe, some of the highest level athletes, that we have in our team and how they go about their business. And, for me to be able to learn that and see how they're doing it. And then for me, hopefully this year, when I earn a rotation spot, to be able to come in and implement that, try to impact the game as much as possible. We have a really, really good team this year, and obviously, the goal for us is always a championship. So in any way that I can contribute to that, I'm looking forward to doing that. I think the last 2 years for me, observing, us winning at a high level, we've been in the playoffs both years. So just trying to add to that for sure.
Hey, Max. JJ's talked a lot about corner crashing, and he mentioned specifically you and Rui as a couple of guys that he'd like to see that from. We've seen your offensive rebounding skill and just your rebounding in general, but how much of an adjustment is that, I guess, for you going from you guys not really corner crashing last year to that kind of being something new?
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be too big of an adjustment. I think, again, that really comes down to a lot of effort and conditioning. I would say I'm in pretty good shape, and I definitely try to give as much effort as I can when I'm on the floor. And so, for me, like you said, I think I do a pretty good job rebounding at my position. I think I'm pretty athletic and, bouncy enough to go and get some rebounds. So I think for us, winning the extra possession game, trying to get as many extra possessions as we can with the amount of offensive firepower we have on our team, I think that's going to help. And like you said, JJ has stressed that, to us in our individual and group workouts, just trying to make sure that we're trying to get extra possessions, and he wants me to be one of those guys that can do that for us.
Hey, Max, you agreed to the new deal pretty early in the free agency process. What was your thinking with that? And what did it mean to you for them to offer, a long-term deal to keep you around?
Yeah, I think it was mutual between both parties to reach a deal and come back. It definitely meant a lot for me. I've been here for the past 2 years. I've worked really, really hard just to try and stay here and try and stay in the league. And it felt really good, that they were able to, we were able to reach an agreement. I think it showed their trust in me, their belief in me, and it also validates the belief that I have in myself, the confidence that I have in myself. So it felt really good, and it feels really good to be sitting here in a Lakers jersey again for another season. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, Max. I know you were out in Palm Springs a couple weeks ago. You went to Palm Springs Middle School and got to, hang out with some of the kids there. And now your first 2 preseason games are at Acrisure Arena in the Coachella Valley. What does it mean to you to kind of play out there? I'm sure you felt the fan presence when you were playing with them out there. And there's a lot of diehard Laker fans out there. And now you get to play in that arena. What does it mean to you, and what are you doing to prepare for those first 2 preseason games?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I think the first preseason game for any team is exciting. And then we're going to Palm Springs. Like you said, I was there a few weeks ago with, some middle school kids, and it was cool kind of to feel the love and, feel that out, with the kids that were there. Like you said, we have a big fan base down there in Palm Springs, and we got 2 games against 2 really good teams. So it's coming up soon. We got a game on Friday, which is ridiculous. It's crazy how fast it's come back. So we're excited as a team. I'm excited as an individual, especially playing it, in Palm Springs. Last year we had a game there too. It was pretty electric. So looking forward to it.
Max over here.
Yep.
Hey, Max, congrats on the contract extension. First off, It's crazy. You're only still 21 years old. You've been here. It's your third year. But speak to, the addition also of having your brother. I feel like your brother follows your footsteps. Big Ten, both of you guys, and now you're both in L.A. How has that been for you in terms of having him here? And how is that dynamic in terms of you guys? You guys been working out down here? What's been a situation like that and having him?
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool just to be able to say that we're, one of a few pair of brothers to be able to play in the NBA is super cool. And just quality of life really is super nice, just having, a close family member out here. We're kind of going through the same thing. He went through his rookie year. I'm going through, I went through mine. He's going through his right now. So it's cool for me to kind of guide him, kind of give him some advice, watch him go through his own journey. And it even works out even better that we're both in LA. I mean, it's perfect, the perfect case scenario. I mean, it's extremely rare. You don't really think of that. So it's super cool. So I'm really appreciative of it, and we're both blessed to be in the position that we're in.
Yo, what's up, Max? Just, coming into this season, it's looking like you're going to get a chance to get a little more play. Just what are the biggest emphasis that you looked at during the summer to kind of prepare yourself for this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, just, again, working on the fundamentals of the game obviously is the most important, but in terms of my role on the team, I think defensively is a big key for that for me to be able to stay on the floor, is to have that energy on the defensive end, disrupt offenses, and really become a problem for opposing teams. And then offensively, I think the biggest key is three-point shooting for sure, particularly from the corners. We got guys that can really handle the ball. We got a bunch of offensive weapons on our team. And for me, just being able to take the load off of them a little bit, being able to knock down big shots, corner threes, crash the glass, get us all extra offensive possessions. It's probably the main focal point for me in my game and my role this season. So I've been working on it, for the past, really 2 years, honestly. So I'm looking forward to my opportunity. Thank you, guys.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Jaxson, from really January on, you kind of established that spot with the second unit rotation from a big man standpoint. Just have you had some of those early conversations with JJ and the staff about like what they liked about that and how they envision you going into this season and what role that might be?
Yeah, we definitely had a few conversations about it, and like how my role was towards the end of the season and leading on into this season. Obviously, with Chris being hurt to start the year, I'm going to have to step up a lot more. So really just trying to excel in that role and keep doing what I did at the end of the year and just kind of be a little better than that even. So that's the goal.
Jaxson, what was it like seeing LeBron and AD this summer play at a championship level, play for a championship? And I think D'Lo said that he was watching how other guys kind of moved around them in a way to impact winning at that level. Was that your experience kind of watching that too, seeing different things like that and envisioning how what they did in Paris, if there were ways that it could translate to what you guys are going to try to do this season?
For sure. I mean, watching them play this summer was awesome. They had some great games, but I thought the one thing that I took away was, 22, and he's still like the face, like leading the team, getting most of the shots. They're playing around him, and so I feel like it's good to watch for guys like us who are going into this season playing with him, because it shows you what you can do to be a championship level team like around him. So I just feel like it helped me a lot.
Jaxson, good to see you. Just the way the roster's constructed, especially with Christian having gone through a procedure in the offseason, could be a big role for you here, certainly in the early going. How have you kind of prepared mentally for that? Have there been conversations with the front office, with teammates, with coaches, and just kind of how do you view this opportunity ahead of you?
Definitely had some conversations with, a bunch of people, RP, JJ, some of the guys on the team, but just really want to make sure I'm in shape to start the year and just really locked in on everything and on our new offense, new defensive schemes, all of that, and just take full advantage of the time that they're going to give me at the beginning of the year and just try to make the most of it.
Jaxson, JJ was your vet in New Orleans, and 3 years later, he's your head coach. What's that adjustment been like?
It was definitely a little weird at first, for sure. Coming into my rookie year, he was one of the guys I looked up to. He was one of my teammates. We were in the same second group that would come in and play together, and we play a two-man game. I'd go I mean, obviously, as all you know, he's a very good shooter, so I'd go play a lot of two-man game with him. So it's definitely been a little, not awkward, but weird, the dynamic. But, I mean, I'm fully looking forward to it this year and really excited about it.
You mentioned possibly having a bigger role, especially to start the season with Christian being out. What did you emphasize in your summer work skill-wise in preparation for that?
Really just playing out of the pocket, being more dynamic in the pocket, making better reads, whether it's passing, shooting my little touch shot, shooting a little midi, getting the ball going to the next action, just stuff like that, working to just be more effective and more aggressive with my actions, and just looking to not foul as much this year too, like working on my screening, getting in and out my screening without illegal screens, so I don't pick up like one illegal screen a game anymore, so just little things like that.
Hey, Jaxson, you just mentioned guarding without fouling. I know that was a big focus for you last year. Have you spoken with JJ about kind of your role defensively and what's going to change, schematic-wise, that you could be more of a force on the defensive end?
Yeah, really, our combos have just been how, on that second group, I can come in and try to anchor the defense and do what A does for our team pretty much whenever he's out the game. And so just really just learning things from him and just like watching his film, watching film with him, watching film with our coaches, just learning where to be in the right positions and right timing for stuff, and just like working on my verticalities and stuff like that, and working on my screen. And so I'm not setting illegal screens. It's just been a big point of emphasis this summer for us. Appreciate you guys.
All right, so all these questions for Dalton, right?
They're for you. Definitely going to start with Dalton out here, yeah.
There we go.
There you go, I got you. Dalton, JJ the other day talked about you being in a top certain percent of shooters already in the NBA. And I just wonder, as you start to envision, how do you focus on certain elements like the shooting, maybe defense, that are different from U.S. to kind of carry the whole load, right, at Tennessee? How do you think that evolves?
Just being myself, just going out there and not only just shooting the ball, but being an all-around player, just going out there defending, rebounding, passing, and just being out there competing on the floor with all my teammates.
And then, Bronny, just starting with basketball, what have these last couple months been like with you in the building, with the coaching staff, learning some of the terminology? What stood out to you the most?
It's me being a sponge, coming in, getting my work in the morning, and learning from all the vets and people that have been here longer than me. I feel like that's what I've been focusing on, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the rest of the year.
Hey guys, one for each of you. Dalton first. What has JJ said to you about kind of your plug and play sort of nature, and do you see a pathway for yourself to the rotation?
Yeah, for sure. I just he said just kind of be yourself. Always go out there and compete, and be better than you were yesterday. Is really all. Just go out there, compete at a high level, and just learn from all the vets, and obviously I'll learn from JJ as well.
Bronny, today obviously surreal for a bunch of different reasons, but not try to take your dad out of it for you to accomplish this, especially considering what had happened last summer. How special has today been? Has today been kind of a pinch me day a little bit for you?
Yeah, for sure. All the cameras and stuff that are going around feels good, but the work is yet to come. I'm just looking forward to coming in and working with my guys and competing every day, because that's really what I want to do, and that's what I wanted to do since I started taking basketball seriously. So I'm just coming in and trying to be my best every day.
Guys, good to see you both. Dalton, I'll start with you. You're going to be practicing with some accomplished vets here. I saw some footage this summer. You working out with some accomplished vets who aren't Lakers. Can you tell me a little about those workouts with former NBA All-Stars?
Yeah, it was cool to be in the gym with all those guys and learn from them, see how they see the floor, and just ask for some advice and ask as many questions as I could. It was good just to work out with those guys.
And Bronny, are you guys going to be like commuting together, or any, like you and your dad? Like, do you know any of that? You're going to sync up your rides to and from practice or anything like that?
Definitely not. It's already so much that we've been grouped together as. I'd like to stay as away as possible from that guy. Appreciate you.
This one's for both of you, but JJ's talked about since the voluntary workouts have started with the one-on-ones and two-on-twos and the group stuff, that he's seen a lot of progress out of the younger players on the team. In what way do you feel like you guys have each improved over the last couple of months since being in here?
For us, I've just coming in and getting better every day. We come in and put our work in the weight room. Come on the court, get our hours in, but just being a sponge, I feel like that's the most important part for us young guys to do. Just coming in and learning every day and continuing to get better every day.
Yeah, like you said, just coming in every day, competing, and just also, like you said, soaking it all in like a sponge, just trying to learn as much as you can from the vets, and yeah.
Bronny, Dalton, for both of you guys, kind of on that note, what's been the emphasis of your skill work since Summer League ended?
I would say just staying in the weight room as much as you can, and going out there competing on the floor, learn from JJ, doing the one-on-one, 2-on-2, 3-on-3 stuff, just learning the schemes and stuff. So I'd say that.
Yeah, just learning game plan, learning playbooks, but also trying to get our bodies right. In the weight room, stuff like that, getting in condition, NBA condition, just improving every day.
Hey, Bronny. There's a lot of guys in the NBA whose fathers played in the NBA. You just may be the world's most foremost expert on having a famous dad, considering who your dad is. How do you approach being your own guy the way a lot of guys around the league have had to also in the shadow of pretty famous fathers?
I just continue to try to be myself every day, doing the things I love since I've, been a kid, and just trying to keep that routine up and being myself, but also, taking the time to tune out all the noise and tune out all the people that, don't think I should be here. While also trying to, get in the gym, put my work in, and keep, improving myself every day.
Hey, Bronny. What are you most excited about in terms of sharing a locker room and a court with your dad? And then what specifically do you fear? What are the unique challenges for this situation?
What am I most looking forward to? More like I think I'm most looking forward to practice, like just going head to head with each other. I feel like that's such a crazy feeling to be in practice with your dad, and competing at a high level. But on the other side of that, having to go against LeBron James is kind of a lot in practice every day. So but yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well.
Darren Haynes, K-Cow. Bronny, and another one for you. It looks like your dad's having so much fun seeing you here, but describe what it's like for you to do your media day and you look over and your dad's right there too.
And that, again, just crazy feeling. Was actually doing my radio over there, just looking over my dad taking pictures. It was like, what's going on right now is literally my thoughts. But yeah, just trying to take it all in, and I'm extremely, grateful for the opportunity.
Ronnie, Jim Hill, KKL9. What advice did your father give you about today and what you should and shouldn't do?
Just be myself. Pretty sure that he knows I'm a smart guy and not going out here saying some stuff that I shouldn't be saying. So yeah, just coming out here and being myself is the main thing. Yeah.
Lauren Jones, Sporting Tribune. So Bronny, I have to ask you, over the course of this summer, from being drafted, the adversity that you faced last season, leading into this season, going to the Olympics, getting to witness your dad win a gold medal, what has been kind of the highlight for you over this, fast forwarding to now, and how do you take kind of the adversity that you suffered during last year and kind of propel you into this upcoming season?
I think the main thing for me is just continuing to put in the work after being reset. I feel like it's just made me into a stronger individual. So yeah, just taking all that fuel and stuff, that criticism and backlash that people have given me, and turning it into something that can fuel me and get me up every day and get in the gym, get my work in every day. And I feel like that's been the most important part of why I've been getting better all summer.
Hey, Bronny. I mean, you've obviously had to field a ton of questions about the father-son relationship. I'm sure you expected that coming into this, but who is Bronny James, the basketball player? Like, what can people looking to watch you next year expect? And if you don't know the answer to that yet, what are you hoping to learn about yourself this year?
Yeah, I could definitely say I'm just a smart player. I'm not gonna go in there lost, looking like I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, just being a hard nose on the defensive end, and just playing my role on the offense end while being able to create a shot myself. But I don't definitely know what my role is going to be this year, so I'm waiting to get into practice and fill it out.
What's up, Bronny? Baker from SiriusXM. As you approach your rookie year, how do you feel mentally and physically as you transition from playing from college and then now in the big league?
I've been focusing on that type of stuff all summer, so I feel great. Been in the gym, been in the lab, been on the court, been in the weight room, trying to get my physical and my mental right. So yeah, I feel great going into the season.
Dalton, earlier this summer you told us about watching film with your college coach and Reddish being one of the guys that you watched. Have you started to get more time or to think about working with him now? Okay, here's what to do as a movement shooter. Have you gotten on the court with him, and have you started to notice how that could benefit you?
Yeah, during Summer League we kind of got on the court a little bit for the first time, but being in the gym every single day, being on the court, you get to learn from him. He always goes out there and stops at the drill if it's not doing it, if you're not doing it right. And he's real coach. Like, he's real coachable, and we get to learn from him. And it's been good just because, like you said, I watched him in college, and now I got him as my coach. It's really good just if I have any questions, go ask him straight up and text him.
And then, Bronny, it seemed like you got stronger as Summer League went on. With all the time that you missed leading up to that, do you feel like you've now gotten to get back in like the shape that you're used to as a basketball player?
Yeah.
Does that make you a different player?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really never know when I will get to that point where I was before I had that accident. So, I'm just taking it day by day and trying my hardest to, put in that work every day and get to what I thought back was. Yeah.
Bronny, over here to your right. A lot was made when your dad banished the word dad from practices. What did you make of him saying that, and how much thought have you given to what you're going to call him in practice?
I haven't given it any thought. Whatever comes out of my mouth when I'm trying to speak to him is what he's going to accept. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really mean much. I don't know what to say about that, but I haven't really addressed him in any way yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, Christian, we know just from tweets and such how excited you were heading into the season. Obviously, you had the setback with the surgery, but wondering how you're feeling at this point, if things are going as you progress, and if you feel like you'll be able to hit the ground running once you're able to get back on the court.
Things are going good. I think, I'm feeling better this time around. I think my second, rehab is going well. I'm about to start ramping things up maybe in about 2 weeks. And then you think it's going to take like maybe another 2 weeks to try and get back in game shape and get live. So, I'm thankful that, I did the surgery, almost immediately when I had a problem with my knee. So I think I'll be back sooner rather than later.
Christian, a couple questions along that. Was it just like a cleanup situation with the knee? Was it cartilage or anything like that?
It was a whole new injury on the knee. It was during rehab. I had woke up and it was swollen. I got an MRI. It was literally like the same injury in the same knee. So it was out of my hands.
The conversation around this team at this time last summer, there was a lot of really high expectations.
Yeah.
How different has the conversation from what you've noticed been around externally around this team, and what's it been like internally?
I just think it's been more, internally. I just think it's been more discipline. We're more focused on details. More focused on, we got a conditioning test coming up. So I think, we're more focused on just trying to get better, trying to lean into player development, and trying to be together. We have most of the guys back from last year. So I think a big thing for us is going to be our camaraderie.
Sorry to follow up. Do you feel like you guys are a little under the radar? Which is kind of a weird thing to say about the Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis,
Yeah,
but the way people have talked about this team.
I think as long as you have, those two guys as your captains, then you can't count us out. So to answer your question, yeah, I do think, we're going under the radar. And to think that while you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis and, a few other great guys on this team is hard to think.
How's the continuity of the roster? How do you feel it can help you guys this year? Obviously you missed some time. Some of your teammates missed some time last year, but you did. You were on bus rides together. You were plane rides together. You got to know one another.
Yeah.
If you're all healthy, how can the continuity help?
I mean, that's going to take everybody getting healthy, not just me, but Vando needs to, be back. I think he's a big part of this team. And like I was just said before, we were with each other last year. So I think, everybody's pretty much close with each other. We spend a lot of time together on the road and, home games. You've been with us. We go to a lot of team dinners. So I think it's going to be good. I think our continuity is going to be great.
Christian, to go back to the Vengeance tweet, what was your kind of state of mind when you tweeted that out, and what can you share about your off-season work and kind of getting back to who you were?
I mean, yeah, when I had put that out at that exact moment, I was just about like feeling like I was at 100%. It was a good day in the gym for me. I ramped things up. I was running well. I was in, I think, some of the best shape I've been in since, maybe Houston. So my body was feeling great, and I felt like I was coming back. And then it was literally like the next week after, like I woke up and my knee was just swollen, and I was just like, damn, so. I think I'll be good, and I think I'll be ready.
Christian, what's been your initial impressions of JJ and the new coaching staff since they were hired a couple months ago, and what has your conversation with JJ been about in terms of your role and how he envisions using you once you are able to get back on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good conversationalist, man. He's very personable, and it helps that he was a player in this league. In terms of what my role is, he told me last year it was asked of me to play defense and rebound. They didn't really need me to score or attack mismatches as much. This year he tells me he wants me to play like I was in Houston and Dallas, attack mismatches, shoot a lot of threes, and if I have like a bigger guy on me, try and take him off the dribble. If I have a smaller guy on me, then post up and try and when I come back, try and play around Anthony Davis for the floor spacing.
Hey, Christian, you decided to pick up your player option like super early in the offseason. Just wanted to know what went into that decision, and also like what you're trying to showcase this year before you go back into free agency a year from now.
I mean, if you really kind of look at the market going into it, I ended my season hurt, so it's kind of hard to go into the summer and get what you think you are worth while you're injured. So. That thought in my head, and then this is where I want to be. This is my hometown. This is my dream team to play on. So it was a no-brainer to try and run it back and be even better than I was last year. Because I think I didn't get to show everything I could do. I had nagging injuries throughout the season, and I wasn't 100% the whole season. So I think when I come back, I'm gonna be 100%, and you're gonna see the old me. Thank you.
What's going on?
Hey, Cam, just wonder what your initial conversations with JJ and his coaching staff have been, kind of like watching film from last year, and what role they see you being able to fulfill this season.
I would say it's kind of similar to last year. Obviously, continuing on my defensive abilities, and then offensively, just making the right play, being ready to catch and shoot, and the season goes on, just keep getting better.
Cam, last year is kind of when you were tasked with being the primary point of attack defender. We talked about this at some point, just the physicality that job sort of required. You got beat up a lot, had to deal with some stuff. Did you change kind of the way you went into a season this summer, knowing that the physical demands of what that role entails?
Yeah, I don't think I missed a day when it comes to lifting. So I probably gained about in between 5 to 10 pounds. So I think that'll help. I started the summer off with my ankle was still bothering me, so I had to, rehab that. So I feel like that was just trying to make sure my body was, intact all summer, and just keeping that up. And that's pretty much it.
Ankle good now?
Ankle's good, yeah.
Cam, good to see you. Other than your hair, what's different about this year for you?
I mean, everything really. I mean, attention to details is big time for me. Just trying to make sure I'm doing all of the small things at a high level on a consistent basis, and you know, just staying even kill. You know what I mean? Just a lot of ups and downs, but just staying even kill and, you know, going from there.
Kim, you guys are largely bringing back the same roster from last season. What are the benefits of that continuity and kind of just building off of what you guys did, especially to close the season?
I think that's important. I feel like everybody kind of likes each other too, so that also is a big piece. You know, we kind of learn each other on the court, obviously off the court, yeah, but on the court we get to learn, you know, kind of know where people are going to be at, things like that. So you kind of know what to expect a little bit more, which is obviously going to lead to more wins. So it's pretty good.
Cam, you had especially early in the season, you had really strong moments last year, especially in November. You moved to the starting lineup, knocking down your shots. What's the key to maintaining that consistency throughout this upcoming season?
Man, staying healthy, not landing on somebody's foot. I would say that's the main thing for me, man. Just staying on the court and staying positive. Appreciate it.
Starting with Jalen, Coach Reddish had mentioned specifically kind of being excited about your development in the offseason and just kind of some of the growth that you've already shown. Can you speak to that? What conversations you've had and what you've been working on and focused on the most?
Yeah, I think overall for me, having back surgery March 21st, I think the main goal was just to get healthy and get my back feeling good. So, you know, it was a great offseason, long offseason, but feeling healthy now, and, you know, obviously being in the gym with Coach JJ and the rest of the staff has been great. They built a culture here, especially for us young guys getting in and grinding. So, you know, this summer was really, really good for me and, you know, the other young guys.
Yeah, Maxwell, kind of similar question. Just what have you noticed being in the building? How do you feel like that this new kind of system and the staff is helping you with your skills and your development?
Yeah, they really taken time to really develop us. They put us in other groups just to get the same philosophy as the other team, the big team, and they just want us to be just as on top of it as much as the big team. So it's great. It's great so far.
Jalen, you had a pretty good month and a half or so in the G League before the back injury. Did you feel like you had kind of found something during that stretch, and do you feel kind of you're back at that place?
Yeah, I mean, leading up to surgery, I was definitely playing my best basketball. I think just getting those reps in the G League and, you know, developing over time, it definitely helped me. And, you know, obviously with the surgery, it definitely put me behind. But, you know, I'm feeling great now. Body feels good. And, you know, I'm ready to go into training camp tomorrow and, you know, make an impact.
Maxwell, the time after Summer League, what did Summer League show you that this is where my focus needs to be over the next couple months, and what did you really dial in on?
Yeah, just having the confidence of catching and shooting. That's the main thing I got out of the Summer League, and just being confident and just making the game simple. You know what I'm saying? 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, and just catching and shooting, really, and just guarding. I think that's really what's for me this year. If I want to get play on the big team this year, just playing defense and keeping the game simple.
Jalen, I think you were 20 back in the spring when you had the back procedure, and any athlete going through an injury, that's cause for concern, and it's a tough thing to overcome. But when you hear back surgery for a 20-year-old, it's a rare thing in this sport. What was it like to process that was what you had to go in for, and what exactly were they kind of cleaning up or fixing for you?
Yeah, I just had some back pain and involving something in my disc, and it struck the nerve in my right leg. So yeah, I mean, being young and getting that surgery, it wasn't a crazy surgery, so it was a minor surgery. The recovery time was good, and I'm feeling great now and healthy and ready to go.
And Maxwell, you guys aren't the rookies anymore, so what are you going to be asking of Dalton and Bronny?
Probably nothing, because I'm still a rookie, but I'm still older, if that makes sense. But I'm going to just be there and whatever is asked for me, do. But, yeah.
This question's for both of you. JJ's talked about the group and individual workouts that you guys have gone through over the last couple of months. What area of your game do you feel like you've grown the most in those as you kind of gone through the offense and the defense?
I'll answer it first. I think just JJ and his staff have done a great job of just building that culture and building that, how we want to play and just getting us in tune with the offense and the defense. So being a young guy and obviously not having a lot of experience in this league, I think that's been great for us. And I know for myself, it's been huge going through those summer workouts, competing against the guys, and also getting a head start, just seeing the offense, how we want to play on defense and everything. So I think those are the main things for sure.
Yeah, like you said, just trying to build a culture and just making it good here. I feel like it's great. I love it so far. I'm learning a lot than I was last year, and I'm just more on top of what we're doing. And when I'm on the sideline watching, I know what we're talking about, and it's just better. It's better already.
Jalen, either you or one of the trainers you were working with this summer posted a video of you getting some corner threes up. Looked like you may have changed your shot. Did you, in terms of the mechanics? And I guess what work have you put into your shot this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a lot of reps this summer. I think the main thing is just finding more of a rhythm. I think just minor things. I never had a bad shot, but just fixing my feet, finding more of a rhythm. I think that's the main thing. So, yeah, with my trainer, definitely put in a lot of work this offseason. So I'm looking forward to getting on the court and, showcasing.
Jalen, over here, considering how much time you missed last season, not being able to play in the summer league this summer, have there been any conversations with you about whether you'd be splitting time with the G League team in the big club or expectation to be up more? Has that been talked about with you?
Not really, but I think, again, this whole summer, I've been here this whole summer, been with the staff, been with the young guys. So I think for me, my focus is just to continue to get better, continue to learn daily, and live with the results. Whatever happens, happens.
This question is, sorry guys, this question is for both of you guys. I know it's tough, number one, being here as a rookie. What can you say that you learned from your rookie season, and two, also having patience? Because a lot of times I think for the young guys, they don't get the word patience. Everything is kind of rushed for them. You got to rush to get to something. But how has it been for you guys in terms of learning that word patience?
I think for me on a personal level, I'll say, yeah, being a young guy and even going through what I went through last year, of course, you can always point out the bad, but I try to show gratitude to be like, I got drafted, I'm in the NBA, I play for the Lakers, such a great organization, playing around a lot of great players. So for me, it's just like continue to work, continue to keep God first, continue to learn, be eager. So, yeah, I mean, everything's been great. I'm excited going into the, year two, feel good physically, mentally, and spiritually. So just going to continue to take it day by day and then enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I'll say what I learned, just being mentally prepared for it. I did a lot of up and down, G League, coming back, going to crypto right after landing. So just being ready, you know what I'm saying? Just being mentally prepared, I'll say. And it's great though. Now that I have 1 year under my belt, I know it's coming, and it's great. I'm thankful for what I went through last year because it made me stronger today. So.